Hi guys and welcome to another video on this channel. Today it's the Vegas Grand Prix and it's gonna be a tough one for me because I did 0 laps on this track before recording. So yeah, I've never driven around here. So that's gonna be pretty hard. And our car is still not really where it should be. So it's gonna be really tough to get a good result. But we will see. Maybe we can make something good happen. Maybe not. We will see. And it's the second last round of the season. And we will look at the standings in just a moment. But first, the performance chart. As you can see there, we are P9. We were in P5 at some point. So that's not a good development. But for some reason, the other teams just have so much more R&D or something. I don't know how they are so much better in developing than I am. So yeah, it's really tough to get to the front of the field because everyone is just developing so fast and I just can't keep up with that. And like I said, we were in P5 at one point, but we fell down to P9 again. And we go into qualifying, and I actually forgot to look at the standings before the race, but it's Lewis Hamilton in the lead of the championship, and then Alonso, I think 11 or 12 points behind, and Verstappen with 17 points gap to Hamilton. So if Hamilton wins and Alonso is in P5 or lower and Verstappen in P3 or lower, Hamilton wins the championship. So maybe Hamilton will win here. Maybe we will take the decision to Abu Dhabi. But let's focus on our own qualifying and race first. And then after that we can look at the championship fight. And now our first lap was a 1:35.4, which is 2 seconds off the freeze, I think, or something around that. And now on our last lap we have to get through all the cars who are on out laps. And there, the Ferrari was irritating me a little bit, and I missed my braking point, and so I invalidated the lap. and we're 2.5 seconds off pace. So yeah, like I said, I don't really know the circuit, so it's gonna be a really tough race.
What this place has in store for F1 tonight. 17 corners, 3 straights, 2 DRS zones, and the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas as we race around the 3.8 miles of Sin City. The strip has been taken over to become a straight tonight, commanding top speeds of around 212 miles an hour. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Fernando Alonso, Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, Perez, Russell, Sainz, Gasly, Albon, Stroll, Leclerc, Ocon, Fittipaldi, Magnussen, Helga, Bottas, Sargent, De Vries, and the owner-driver rounds off the grid. Tsunoda and Zhou Guanyu. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. They've been involved in a number of costly incidents lately. That's got to affect their mindset going into this race.
Certainly confidence is an important factor. And every time you're involved in an incident, it's not just the car you damage, but that confidence as well. But all the top racing drivers are able to tune that out when the race gets underway and focus on the job at hand.
So as we go to the grid now, we have 2 strategy options, but we're gonna go with the usual soft to medium. I mean, it is pretty much always soft to medium or medium to hard. We decided this time for soft to medium.
Okay, we're monitoring some wear on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're
And
going to see a loss.
we got a relatively good start. We gained 1 position, but then into turn 3, is it turn 3? I think it's turn 3. We lost it again, so we're in P20. Both AlphaTauris behind us. And that's pretty much all we're gonna get, I think. I mean, if we can, as long as we can stay with the cars ahead, we could be on pace, but as soon as we lose out to them, we are definitely not on pace anymore. And there I tried to make a move on Sargent, but it's really tough to overtake in those corners. It's,
Great maneuver, you made it look so easy.
I think the corners are just not wide enough. It's, I think, a little bit too narrow in the corners. I think the straights are fine, but in the corners it's just too narrow. And you can't really go side by side through the corners, which is pretty annoying, because the only way you can make overtakes
A brand new race strategy on your MSP
is
if you
pretty
wanna
much
check it out.
on the long straight. And yeah, I missed my braking point a little bit there and damaged my front wing. I went to box, and then on the next lap I understeered into the wall. So yeah, that's another DNF. We started the second season way better than the first one. I think in the first one we had 9 DNFs. We started the second season way better, but in the end, the last races, we had just way too many DNFs as well. So not a good season again.
Sounding victory today, but what set them apart from the rest?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep cautious and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Aston Martin's performance today has shown that they can be competitive with the biggest names in the sport. They're making their way out to the podium as we speak, and the reaction from the crowd must be incredibly uplifting for them. After that excellent result, Fernando Alonso takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Now, let's discuss that.
So in the end, Alonso went on to win the race,
Fernando Alonso, wherever he
and
is,
Hamilton
team he's in, when is he not just brilliant?
was, like in Portimao, in P7, and Verstappen DNF'd. So Verstappen is out of the championship fight now. And for the last race, it's gonna be Alonso versus Hamilton with a 5 points gap. So if one of them wins in Abu Dhabi, they've got the championship secured. And otherwise, as long as Alonso doesn't finish more than one place behind Hamilton, he got the championship secured. But we will see how the L1 will play out, and we will see how our fight in the Constructors' Championship for P7 will play out. So see you guys next time. Goodbye.